my dear students. How are you all? I am sure you all are fine today. Today we are going to learn the poem Macavity, the Mystery Cat, which is written by the famous poet T.S. Eliot. We will see some information about the poet T.S. Eliot, Thomas Stearns Eliot. He was born on 26 September 1888, United States. He died on 4th January 1965 in London. He was a famous poet, dramatist, literary critic, and editor. Poet's notable works: The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock 1915, The Westland 1922, Four Quartets 1944. His awards: Nobel Prize in Literature 1948, Order of the Merit 1948. Macavity, Mystery Cat. About the poem. Macavity is an immortal creation by T.S. Eliot. He describes him as the mystery cat, the hidden paw, and Napoleon of crime. T.S. Eliot created the poem after he got inspired by the character of Professor James Moriarty of Sherlock Holmes. Do you have a pet cat? Have you ever noticed anything mysterious about it? It is not easy to say whether every cat is a mystery, but Macavity is one. For sure, what is it that makes him a perfect mystery cat? So, we will read the poem first and then we will find out the reason. Reading of the poem. Macavity is a mystery cat. He is called the hidden paw, for he is the master criminal who can defy the law. He is the bafflement of Scotland Yard, the flying squad despair. For when there is the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. Macavity, Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. He has broken every human law, he breaks the law of gravity. His powers of levitation would make a fakir stare, and when you reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. You may seek him in the basement, you may look up in the air, but I tell you once and once again, Macavity is not there. Macavity is a ginger cat. He is very tall and thin. You would know him if you saw him, for his eyes are sunken in, his brow is deeply lined with thought, his head is highly domed. His coat is dusty from neglect, his whiskers are uncombed. He sways his head from side to side with movements like a snake, and when you think he is half asleep, he is always wide awake. Macavity, Macavity, there is no one like Macavity, for he is a fiend in felon shape, a monster of depravity. You may meet him in a by street, you may see him in the square, but when a crime is discovered, then Macavity is not there. New words of this poem. Defy, disobey or resist openly. Scotland Yard, the headquarters of the London Police Force. Flying Squad, a group of police or soldiers ready to move into action quickly. Levitation, floating in the air without support. Fiend, devil. Felon, of or relating to a cat. Depravity, moral corruption. Reading of the first stanza. Macavity is a mystery cat. He is called the hidden paw, for he is the master criminal who can defy the law. He is the bafflement of Scotland Yard, the flying squad despair. For when there is the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. Explanation of the first stanza. Macavity is mysterious because he is obscure to all of us. He is hidden paw because he does accomplish all the works of crime in complete secrecy. To justify that he is a criminal, he defies the law. Even the Scotland Yard and flying squad are unable to catch him, and thus Macavity is the reason of failure and hopelessness for the police agencies. Whenever there is a crime discovered, Macavity is not to be found there. Reading of the second stanza. Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. He has broken every human law. He breaks the law of gravity. His powers of levitation would make a fakir stare, and when you reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. You may seek him in the basement, you may look up in the air, but I tell you once and once again, Macavity is not there. Explanation of the second stanza. Macavity is unparalleled. He is the unique one. He is a master in breaking the laws made by the humans. He even breaks the law of gravity with his agile and astounding jump. When he jumps, he floats in the air, which makes even a fakir known for supernatural abilities look in a startled way. Searching Macavity will give futile result. You may search him in the basement or in the air, but you are not going to find him. Reading of the third stanza. Macavity is a ginger cat. He is a very tall and thin. You would know him if you saw him, for his eyes are sunken in. His brow is deeply lined with thought. His head is highly domed. His coat is dusty from neglect. His whiskers are uncombed. He strays his head from side to side with movements like a snake. And when you think he is half asleep, he is always wide awake. Explanation of the third stanza. Macavity is a ginger-colored cat who is thin and tall with sunken eye. You can recognize him when you see him with brow lined with deep thought. He is never careful about his dress. His coat is dusty with neglect. He even does not comb his whiskers. When he moves with caution, he moves his head like a snake from left to right and vice versa. If you think that Macavity is half asleep, you are making a mistake. He is always wide awake. Reading of the fourth stanza. Macavity, Macavity, there is no one like Macavity, for he is fiend in felin shape, a monster of depravity. You may meet him in a by street, you may see him in the square, but when a crime is discovered, then Macavity is not there. Explanation of the fourth stanza. According to the poet, Macavity is a devil in the shape of a cat. He does not have any value of morality. He is master in moral corruption. You may meet him by chance at the by street or in the square, but you must be sure that when there is a crime, Macavity is not be found there. Students, in this way I have explained poem line by line. I hope you have understood the poem. Students, write the answers of all questions in your English homework notebook.